In the world of secrets and unexplainable turns, meet an ex-police dog, Kyle, who started barking at a seemingly ordinary tree and revealed an unimaginable secret hidden inside it that stirred up everyone's curiosity. When it comes to picking the ultimate sidekick, dogs are like a winning lottery ticket. They're your best friend, your loyal confidant, and your partner in crime fighting. From snuggling on the couch to sniffing out suspects, they're the ultimate all-in-one package. They can pull off the duty of being a police officer better than any other animal thanks to their highly alert senses. But here's the thing. These awesome police dogs don't get to work the beat forever. They have a shorter time on the job because of their age. So on average, when they hit around 8 years old, they hang up their detective hats and enjoy a well-deserved retirement. Now let's tell you about an incredible German Shepherd named Kyle. He was a brave pup and an amazing officer at work. For a solid 8 years, this furry dynamo teamed up with his partner John. Training Kyle to become an aggressive police dog was definitely not an easy job because of his sweet and loving nature. However, John saw beyond the surface and realized there was something special about Kyle. So he rolled up his sleeves and got to work. Hours of training, endless effort, and buckets of patience went into shaping Kyle into a top-notch police dog. He learned the ropes, including backing up John whenever he needed a paw, sniffing out the illegal, and being the eyes and ears in suspicious situations. Over the years, the two built an unbreakable bond that words can hardly describe. A bond that went beyond commands and tricks, reaching deep into the realm of trust and companionship. But you know how everyone says that nothing stays the same forever? Well, that's the deal with this story too. Sadly, the time for Kyle's retirement came, and he had to say goodbye to his job. Now here's where things get a bit complicated. See, when police dogs retire, they sometimes get to stay with their human partners. It's like a forever home kind of deal. But then there's this twist in the story. Kyle's partner John had a job that was extremely demanding. We're talking about long hours, and as much as John would love to have kept Kyle by his side, he had to think about what was best for his furry buddy. Deep down, he knew that he wouldn't be able to give Kyle the love and attention he deserved. So with a heavy heart, he took the decision to let Kyle go, and they both had to part their ways. Now Kyle needed a new home, a place where he'd be showered with all the belly rubs and treats he could ever want. But this is the part where the story gets a bit sad. Kyle went through a bit of a rough patch. He went to 2 different homes after leaving the force, but it just didn't work out. Those families couldn't handle the pup's unique behavior. It's like they couldn't understand him, and the poor pup got sent back both times. But hold up, here's where the tide turned. The third time, Kyle found a loyal companion and his forever home with the Smiths. The Smiths instantly fell in love with Kyle. They knew he was the missing piece in their family puzzle. Kyle blended in with them so perfectly. It was like he'd always been a part of their lives. Their big, comfy house became his new playground. He was happy as a clam. Being with the Smiths was like a dream come true for Kyle. Their property was like a little paradise, surrounded by lush green fields and so many other cool places that Kyle loved to stroll with his new master, Thomas Smith. Going on a morning walk with Thomas was the best thing Kyle could ever ask for. Kyle got a new family, and the Smiths got a furry buddy who would make them feel safe all the time. Everything was going perfect, but suddenly, things started to take a turn for the worse when Kyle started showing decreased interest in his morning walks. Kyle, who once couldn't wait to hit the streets with John, started avoiding stepping out of the house. Initially, Thomas didn't think of it as a problem because he thought that Kyle might just be trying to adjust to the new place. But, alas, days turned into weeks, and still, Kyle's behavior remained the same, and he started to get depressed. It was like a shadow had fallen over this vibrant pup. Thomas started getting concerned about Kyle. He went all out to make sure his dog was okay. He switched up his food and even took him to the vet. But guess what? None of it seemed to make a difference. The vet said Kyle was completely fine. So what on earth was the deal then? Thomas was practically pulling his hair out, trying to figure it out. It's like he was on a mission to crack the code of Kyle's mood. Thankfully, one day he managed to take Kyle out for a walk. As they were peacefully walking on their path, something caught Kyle's attention. And then bam! Out of nowhere, he pulled on his leash so hard that Thomas had no choice but to let go. It was like a switch flipped in him, and he started running deeper into the woods like a lightning bolt. Thomas, on the other hand, was standing there shocked and instantly started running after Kyle. After a moment of catching his breath, he caught up to Kyle and found him standing in front of a tree, barking with all his might. He tried to call his dog away from the tree, but Kyle wasn't having it. Instead of moving, Kyle plopped himself right down in front of that tree, almost as if he was guarding it. The tree seemed completely normal, and there was nothing to worry about, yet Kyle wasn't budging from his place and was barking as loud as he could. Thomas attempted every trick in the book to get Kyle away, but failed. Frustrated, Thomas dialed up Kyle's former police partner John and asked him if Kyle had done anything like this before, and what he should do to get Kyle moved. Little did Thomas know that his eyes failed to grasp what Kyle had sensed. After learning about the bizarre situation, John dropped the bombshell. He'd seen Kyle act like this back when they were solving cases. If Kyle stumbled upon a clue, he'd just sit and wait like a patient detective pup. Hearing about Kyle's current situation, John's voice turned shaky, and he asked Thomas to carefully examine the tree. After approaching the tree, Thomas found its bark somewhat loose and broken, so he started peeling it off. But what's underneath wasn't what anyone expected. Thomas jumps back like he saw a ghost, his eyes wide, his heart racing. He can't believe what's staring back at him. It's like something out of a movie, a skull just sitting there inside the tree. He didn't waste a single second, and he asked John to come to his location. Soon, John showed up with a team of smarty-pants forensic researchers ready for action. The moment Kyle caught sight of John, an explosion of joy overtook him, and he ran into John's arm. This heartfelt reunion melted the hearts of everyone who witnessed it, and after a heartwarming greeting, John got up and started examining the tree alongside his team. Soon they got the skeleton out, and just as John was about to inform his seniors about the issue, his team notified him that it wasn't an actual skeleton, but rather a mere plastic toy fashioned to resemble skeletal remains, probably left by some naughty kids as a prank. All of them let out their sighs of relief mixed with laughter and disbelief. But John wasn't able to wrap his head around why Kyle was so obsessed with a fake skeleton. Even though he's been trained to learn what's harmful and what's not, why was he acting like that plastic skeleton was a juicy bone? Suddenly, it all clicked with John. He realized that Kyle was actually missing him. This was Kyle's clever way of reuniting. His way of saying, "Hey, I miss you. Let's hang out." Feeling guilty, he decided to spend some quality time with his furball and give him all the love that he'd been longing for. The dog was overjoyed, and they spent hours playing together at Thomas's place. Before parting ways again, John made a promise to Kyle to visit him more often, and in return, Kyle just wagged his tail like crazy, as if he totally understood the plan, and plopped himself down next to Thomas. That's it for today, folks. Let us know, have you ever experienced a bond so strong that even the most unexpected circumstances become a bridge to reunion? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember, the tale of Kyle and his crafty way of saying, "I miss you." Till our next adventure.